my cup with some Java love. Sit on down, let's talk it up. I know some laughing lattes.
Welcome to Life and Lattes with Liv and Cole. I'm Cole.
And I'm Liv, who just took a drink of coffee.
Got her mid-sip.
I know. Sounds about right, man.
We have a guest today.
We do.
He's sitting right in front of us. Jackson Schwier. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Glad to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
He's probably like, these people are freaking weird, man.
Right?
No,
Why am I
Super
doing
weird.
this?
Yeah, I know. Just like interrogating him with all these questions that we have for him.
I love that.
Right.
I love being interviewed.
We have a long list, so I hope you're ready.
I hope so.
Boom.
Ooh, that clap though.
I know.
Liv's trying to make my ears bleed today.
I'm sorry. It's better than all of like the P's that I used to like do like. Okay, always wants to kill me. Anyway,
What are we drinking?
Coffee today. We are rounding out our like Starbucks. I still don't know what this collection is called.
Liv,
No.
I love you. I really do. It literally says on the back, Premium Select Collection.
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay, but I just feel like all of their coffees are premium select.
I don't know. It's just you said what collection? It says Premium Select Collection. I'm guessing that's what the collection is.
Okay, you know what? Maybe you're right. Anyway, this one, this one's Costa Rica. I think this one's my favorite packaging
Costa
because of
Rica.
the colors. But anyway,
No, I like it. Pastels. I dig it.
And
And it's got
this
a bird
one,
on the front.
yeah, I don't like the bird part, which
No?
we've discussed that I don't like.
What kind of
birds.
bird is that,
I think it's a parrot.
Cockatoo?
Oh,
I don't know. Probably parrot.
babe?
are cockatoos parrots?
That's a parrot.
Oh, there we
Parrot.
go. We'll bring in the expert.
She loves birds.
Nice.
She does.
loves birds.
I mean,
She,
I'm
like,
not
totally
kidding.
loves birds, man. Okay, now back to the coffee, not the bird on the packaging. It says it's complex. Do you say complex or complex?
That's actually kind of funny you say that. I would say complex. Yeah.
Complex
Yeah.
with a soft lemony sweetness and smooth cocoa texture. I don't taste the lemon. Do you? Or am I just like an uncultured swine?
No lemon.
No?
I'm with
Okay.
you.
I trust you because
twirl it.
you've been to Costa
You
Rica.
have to
I feel
twirl it
you should-
like
right?
wine.
Yeah, swirl. A little sniffage.
I mean,
I'm
if
sorry
there
that I
is
said sniffage.
if there is some, it's a very, very faint and more in the aftertaste for sure.
Maybe there. I didn't wait long enough.
It's just a tiny little bit. I feel like there's a little bit of acid, a little bit of citrus. But it's definitely sweet. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting the cocoa. Maybe that's my thing that I'm like, where's the cocoa
See,
at?
I get that.
See, it all depends, right? All depends upon your
On your tongue.
well, I'd say your palate, but sure.
Mine sounded weirder.
Tongue. Depends on what kind of tongue you got.
Ew,
But they're
stop it.
they're all medium roast. So these are nice. They're not too harsh, not too light. I don't know.
That's pretty accurate.
I honestly think the last one was my favorite.
We're so vague when we talk about coffee.
That's why I'm trying to talk a little bit more about
It's
it.
got a great aftertaste. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It finishes nice. How about that?
Boom.
It has a nice finish to it.
An okay aftertaste.
Afterbirth.
Yeah. That's good. That is good.
Not the old afterbirth.
So, I should not talk on the side of the mic. Jackson Schwier. I always like have to slow down when I say your
Think
name
about it.
because I like mash it all together.
I'm so used to it. So used to it. That's how I say it.
Yeah.
Jackson Schwier.
So he is. I became friends, I guess, with him. I wouldn't say like we're really that close, but I
We're
became
friends. I'll say you're a
We'll
friend.
say
Okay.
friends.
You're above the step of acquaintance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Because of Brad. Brad and my brother-in-law Brandon played soccer
Yep.
with you, correct?
Yeah, homeschool
Back in
soccer.
the day.
Hey.
Are you
Homeschoolers.
homeschooled?
He's
Let's go.
homeschooled.
All the way
Let's
through.
go.
All the way through.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Somewhat normal. No.
Yeah.
Right?
Not
How are you
around.
normal?
Yeah.
So I was only homeschooled for a couple of years, but got to play soccer. The homeschool.
Yeah.
Homeschool Trailblazers won state.
Trailblazers. Yeah, so I don't know, you probably don't remember. but I've worn like that Trailblazer
You still wear it? That's
sweatshirt with the Beatty on it.
You wear a lot of clothes. I don't know.
That's true. You know what? That's true.
I'm a guy. I don't really pay that much attention. I'll be honest.
Okay. Yes, but yes, I do wear the Trailblazers one because Brad doesn't fit in his middle school, high school sweatshirt anymore.
That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. I probably could. That's probably good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know
my
if my
gosh.
gut would, but dad bod.
That's in right now. Everyone wants
Yeah.
to
Supposedly
bod.
it's in. I don't know. I just embrace it because I can say it and it's true.
Okay, speaking of dad bod, Father's Day was last weekend.
Yeah.
And there was this brewery. They came out with a beer. It's called Dad Bod. And
That's
it had
hilarious.
like
Smart.
It had like just like the torso of a dad with like just like the gut like hanging out under their shirt. And I was like, this is hilarious. It was an IPA, and I was like, Fish Daddy would totally dig an IPA. So I was like
How'd you get
going
it from?
everywhere to find this beer. And it said like on their website, it was everywhere. And I'm calling all these places, and they're like, no, we don't have it. And I'm like, what? But their website played me. And so
Oh.
it's made in Massachusetts, I think.
Okay.
And it is nowhere in Indiana at all.
How many places did you call before you found that out?
Like 6 or 7.
Wow.
I was
Yeah,
getting
I wasted a good part of my day.
I know, I was so annoyed. But anyway, Dad Bod, it reminded me of my annoyance from last weekend. But anyway.
Okay. So I got some would you rathers.
Ooh.
Love these.
Yes.
Yeah, these will be good.
So while you pull those up, kind of just want to give an outline for today. So
Good
we
call.
asked Jackson to be on, one, because he's in real estate. So it'd be cool to like get another perspective for Cole.
Yeah.
Also recently married.
Yeah.
So kind of in a similar stage of life with
Yeah.
myself. And then he helps, I guess, run a vintage clothing shop it's just online, right? Or just through Instagram?
Yeah, mostly through Instagram, but we do have people come out,
Cool.
come out and shop, but mostly through Instagram.
Yeah, so we'll kind of be talking through those points today, and then we
Yeah.
have some extras too.
Love that.
All right, so hit us up with some would you rathers, Cole.
Okay. So there's only going to be so many times that we can like use new ones, so you're lucky. You got
Awesome.
some good new ones. No one's had to answer these yet.
Love it.
I tested them on Audrey last night. They were good. Okay.
I feel like you always find really good ones. And I'm like, where are you finding these?
I'm good with the Google. Like I just deep dive. Like I'm trying to find it. Like it was just like I was at.
Teach me your ways.
So like I'm sure Jackson knows this, but within the first 2 years of being licensed, you have to take a 30-hour continuing education course. Ours is offered by the company. I've been taking that. It's boring, but
Yeah.
you have to do it to keep your license. And there's a reason I was telling you this, and it just lost it.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the morning.
Were you looking for questions
Oh, yeah.
during the
During
class?
that.
So
okay, boom.
we were talking about mortgage fraud, and they were like, look up examples. And I was like, I can't find any. And I was just like, I typed in, there was shotgunning and like flipping fraud, and you had to like find an example. I just typed in flipping fraud example, looked for example in the keywords, and pulled them up, and they were like, Cole's got it. And I was like, it's not that hard.
Okay, hold on though, because I can find would you rather questions, but I've done a majority of them that I'm like,
Yeah.
I have a hard time finding.
It's
these.
okay.
Anyway,
I'll help
go-
you out.
You know what? Go for it.
Okay. So
we
first
go.
one, would you rather have a tarantula or a lobster as a bedmate?
Ew. What kind of question is that?
A lobster. I feel like lobsters are pretty unpredictable. I think you can tame tarantulas as much as I hate to say that. I'd probably have to go with tarantula.
I mean, I get it though, because like
You can see that being like you see videos of them crawling around. They're nice.
I
They
feel
can
like it
be.
would be chill.
Ooh.
But lobster would die. They'd probably die though.
After a little bit, probably would.
I think I would just
after
like
it slipped on you.
I would like just rubber band their
I thought
pinchers.
that. I didn't know if that was allowed.
It's allowed.
Okay, but then probably
Yeah, but you've
lobster.
seen like their face. They do like this stuff.
Yeah,
What
but
if it
like,
just came up to you and was like,
ooh, spiders, man. I can't.
Yeah, if I could rubber band the claws, probably lobster. If not,
if not tarantula? Gotcha.
like Italian dude.
Yeah.
Boop-a-da-bop.
You wake up and he's like, oh, wake up. It's a Saturday.
That's the worst Italian accent.
Sorry. I don't do accents. Okay.
That was funny.
Johnny. No, I don't know. It's bad. That was Boston more than anything. Okay. Would you?
Boston. Yeah, hold on. That's the thing. Because your accents immediately go like Boston.
Right.
And Brad's goes immediately Indian.
You're like,
That's
every
hilarious.
time.
That's
oh yeah,
hilarious.
you're
Like,
like,
he
do
tries to
Spanish, and he's
learn
like, he'll start off, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, and then you're
Yeah.
like, dude, stop. What's
Mine
wrong?
automatically goes Australian. It does.
I like that one. Though.
Automatically.
Yeah. See, that's a good one though.
That's a tough one.
Mastered
Okay,
it.
next question.
Sorry. Would you rather have wet socks on your feet for a year
Ew.
or dry socks on your hands for a year?
Wet socks are absolutely the worst thing ever.
It truly.
But
Could you
damn,
imagine?
shaking people's hands with socks? Like,
Hey.
what in the heck?
Are you allowed to like explain yourself? Because
I mean-
because if you're wearing wet socks, like you don't have to explain
Okay,
to
how
anyone
wet?
but
Is it
your
like dripping or are they just damp?
It's just as wet. Depends on your definition of wet, I guess. I don't know.
All right, my definition is damp, and I'll
That
do
would still be.
I know, still horrible, but like the functionality of
I know.
dry socks, you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Like, how do
No.
you write?
Play
How do
basketball, shake
you
people's
just out there in
hands,
socks, like-
looking like a preschool
Yeah.
teacher doing sock puppets all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you said, like if you go to
It's
shake
true.
somebody's hand, you got a sock on your hand. They're gonna go, whoa, dude.
I've got to go the wet socks.
What would you do, Liv?
You know, I'm gonna also go with the wet socks.
Okay.
Situation.
As much as it's
Because
horrible.
but I just feel like if you're doing it for a year, at some point you probably will just like get used to it.
Right.
You know?
You would have permanently pruny feet, though.
Yeah. Oh. Disgusting. Vomit. Okay.
Okay.
That's a good one, though.
Would you rather have every song you heard turned into a Justin Bieber song, or have every movie you watched turned into a Shrek movie?
What?
Dang. I do like Justin Bieber. I'm a
But
fan.
every song.
Yeah. Shrek movie. That's so random.
It
I know, right?
is.
Oh, man. I think I like music more than I like movies. So I'll probably turn into Shrek.
That'd be so
That's-
funny if you were watching like, I don't know.
So
you know,
so is it just like it's
a Marvel movie and they're all Shrek.
so is it just Shrek
Get out of my
characters?
swamp.
Yeah. That was very accurate.
It has no more terms, Liv.
I know.
This is just
but
the question.
This is just we can
There's
just
so many hypotheticals.
We can
That's the problem.
We can discuss it.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
So everyone's just Shrek characters in movies, right?
I mean, it says
Like, it's
turn
not like
into
you-
a Shrek movie.
Okay, so it's not
So I'm guessing
so
yes.
like you said,
I
you
imagine
pop
that.
in like an Avengers movie and you think you're watching Avengers, but then it's actually just Shrek.
Yeah. I imagine, the gingerbread man would be like,
Gingy.
he would be like a Hawkeye or something.
Control buttons.
I love that.
Have to control buttons.
Oh, that was good. Nice job.
Okay. Would you rather have a dog that could hum or a cat who could whistle?
What if your dog could hum?
I love
That's
dogs.
what I said. I was like, if your dog was walking around, he's just like,
Humming? Probably that. Probably my dog.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that'd be pretty
I
tight.
have the best
Like,
dog ever. That would just make him even more better.
he'd be chilling there and you're just like petting him. He's like,
Your dog is so big though.
He
like
is,
that
but
would be
he's
so
good.
funny.
He's so fun.
what kind of dog do you have?
He's a Great Dane puppy.
Oh, yeah. So it's a big dog.
Yeah, he's 9 months, but he's over 100 pounds already. So big dog. He doesn't feel big to me though. I was just talking to someone about that. Like he just feels like a normal dog, but when I get around other dogs, I'm like, okay, he's
Yeah.
ginormous.
But you've like seen him like
Right.
grow.
Yeah,
and
the
you're like with him
progression.
all the time.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to be like a downer or anything, but I
Wow.
want your thought on this since you have one.
I'm guessing the life expectancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know people who have had
Oh,
multiple
is that a
Great
thing?
Danes. It's
Yeah, very, very short. Well, it's getting better, which is great.
Yes.
They have a lot of different health problems that now you can prevent, which is great. So they have the deep chest, and with that comes like bloat, and then their stomach can twist. But
Yep.
there's surgeries now where you can prevent that, which
Okay.
we're going to do. It's called tacking. It's just you get it done when they get neutered. But our breeder was like, their life expectancy was like 8 to 12 years. So that's
hateful at all.
really good for a Great Dane. I mean, that's like similar to a boxer or
Yep.
other dogs. So
I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah, just having a big dog, it comes with different health problems. But
Yep.
Gotcha.
they're the best dogs, though.
Well, yeah, I learned something today. Glad I
Oh.
asked. And you did too.
I know.
Okay, so I got a couple more.
Okay.
Would you rather eat mayonnaise out of a jar for breakfast every day or apply it to all of your skin 3 times a day?
Ooh.
Apply mayonnaise to my skin.
3 times a day.
Like lotion?
Kind of like lotion.
Full body.
Full body.
You smell like eggs all day.
Yeah,
Right?
like
Or-
You say
vinegar.
Or you
eat
gotta-
a full jar?
Or you got to eat a jar for breakfast every day.
Dang, that's
This is horrible. Both so bad.
Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, just eat my mayonnaise breakfast.
I feel like for the first week, I'd like want to throw up, but then I might get used to it. I could not put mayonnaise on my skin.
That would be weird.
Gotta eat it.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm like, you probably eat 1 jar a day, but if I had to like take a lunch break at work to like put mayonnaise on my body.
Be right back, guys.
Hold on a second.
I do have really dry skin. I wonder how that is for skin.
So
I don't know if it would be very
I've
helpful.
put mayo in my hair, like
For what?
drenched it.
One of those weird girl things.
Yeah.
Where it's like supposed to be good for your hair.
Yeah. It's like supposed to help make it feel like really like silky and soft.
Did it work?
It did.
Interesting.
So
Shoot.
maybe we should put mayo on our skin.
Right? Maybe it would make our
The
skin
smell is
soft.
terrible. It makes my
Yeah.
eyes water. Makes my eyes water thinking about it.
Just thinking about what they make mayonnaise with. It's
I
just
know, right?
eggs and
Like-
mustard
Like
or
vinegar.
vinegar.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Would you rather... Do you know Star Wars?
A decent amount. I'd
Okay.
say like average.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, would you rather look like Jar Jar Binks or sound like him?
Man,
This is a
that
good
is a good one.
question.
I'm trying to just think practical, but I mean none of that's practical. So
Yeah.
probably, probably sound like him just for the fun of it.
Could you imagine like making that call to like an expired or something, and you're like,
Trying to sell myself.
"Misa, want to sell your house?"
See, I'm trying to imagine his voice, so that's what it's like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Here, so Liv,
Cool.
go ahead and make the announcement real quick. Tell them what we have. Tell them what we have now in the studio.
We have Wi-Fi, you guys.
Let's go. Pow, 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 pow.
Oh, let's freaking go. We're only on episode 15.
I know.
We finally have Wi-Fi.
Okay, here you go. Here's every
For-
Jar Jar Binks
For
scene.
this moment right here, we're
Yep.
using it to play Jar Jar Binks.
I know. Let's see if he's got very high pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of background noise in that part. Oh, here we go.
Missing your humble servant. That wasn't necessary. Oh, but it is. Just demanded by the gods, it is.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'd love
That's
to
how
sound
you
like
would
him.
sound all the time.
It'd be the
That's
best.
great. Yeah, I would definitely go that route as well. Because
Sweet.
he's not very cute looking, you know.
I know, right? Like if that's what you look like, we'd have some
Like a
options.
saggy lizard.
Yeah,
Huh? Saggy lizard.
you know, it's a very accurate description.
Sweet. Those were my would
That's
you
it.
rather.
I love
so
those.
Boom.
Thank you
Those
for
were
answering.
good.
Thank
See, dang it.
See, dang it. I wasn't gonna
good
say
at those.
anything, but mine are better.
Can you just take a compliment?
Not really. You know, I have.
Can I ask you guys one? I just thought of it.
Yeah, of course.
I love that.
Do it.
I have the first part. Would you rather be completely bald for the rest of your life or have to eat a bowl of hair?
Oh,
I'd rather be
wow.
bald. 100%.
Yeah, I would be bald.
Yep.
You would never, you just eat one bowl of hair one time.
I don't think I could eat a bowl of hair. I don't know if I could do that. And
Listen.
honestly, like just saying, I would probably look better than Liv would bald. Just saying, like Liv would have to buy some wigs or something.
So,
I'd just embrace it. Be
well,
like,
first off, hair is one of
No
the,
water, nothing, just
Is
eating
one-
hair.
it's the worst when you
I
just
could
get like a
literally-
little, and you're just like, you know, like how long is the hair?
It's got a mixture of short and long.
Oh, it's a
So
mixture.
good
guys.
stuff going down.
It's head hair and
This is a tough
bottom
one.
hair,
So,
Bottom hair.
lower half hair.
I don't know what made me think of that, but
so hair to me is one of like the nastiest things. Like
I'm thinking through this whole thing in
I-
my head, and it's killing me.
I can't clean out like our faucet or the drain.
see,
I
hair
ha-
doesn't
I make
bother-
Brad
that does
do it.
not bother me.
I can't do it. If there's a hair
If it smells,
in
maybe, but
my food, I won't eat the rest of it.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, in my house, like, obviously I know whose hair it is. Like, it's mine and my
Even if
kids.
it's mine, I can't. That's literally one of the worst things.
I mean, if I was at, like, a hotel or something and there was hair in the drain, I'd be like, if somebody else's, like, no, I'm not gonna,
Yeah, not
I'm out
touching
on
that.
that because people are disgusting. But it's
That's the
just-
worst question ever.
I like it though. Thanks.
I mean, it's good. It's creative, but it's terrible because I hate hair.
Are we going by this?
We don't have to.
Okay. What do you want to talk about next? Liv.
Real estate.
Okay, that's fine. We can talk about real estate.
Okay.
Talk about that all
Take
day.
it away.
Yeah, all day.
All
day.
Can you remind me what that's from?
Schmidt.
Oh
Yes, Schmidt.
All day.
I love that. Where are my jogging moccasins?
The youths.
Youths. Love that.
Spit all over
I
myself.
say use all the time. These use.
So
I feel like you are a little bit Schmidt.
You always say that.
A little bougie.
A little
A
bougie.
lot
of bougie.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot.
The
I'll be
finer
honest.
things.
Yes.
Now we're
He's
crossing
in the finer
right?
things club.
We're in the finer. You can't be in it.
Fine. I don't want to be.
So we got to talk a little bit beforehand.
Just the basics.
Yeah. So maybe maybe just for everybody else, give a little background on how you got
Yeah.
started and why you got in the business.
Love to, yeah. So I grew up. My dad was in real estate for most of my life since I can remember. Not really showing houses and that side of things, more like buying and subdividing lots and for people to build on. So that was cool to see. So I got that side of things, but sort of as I graduated high school and didn't know what I wanted to do, I went to a different country for 6 months and came back and didn't really feel like I needed to go to college, and real estate was just there and something I thought I'd really enjoy and be good at, and sort of just kind of dove in head first and been in it for almost 3 years, maybe 3.5 years. So
Okay.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So I know currently it's just you and your dad, correct?
Yep. Yeah, I started with the Talk to Tucker,
Okay.
FC Tucker, so that's the biggest in Indiana. Then
Yep.
I went to a smaller one for a few months. It didn't really work out, so then it was just my dad and I. My dad had his managing broker's license, so I put my license with him, and he happened to just around that time started going to full time again. So
So how long were you with Tucker?
1.5 years.
Yeah. So
2
what
years.
made you decide to switch? Just out of curiosity.
So I was sort of talked to from a smaller broker, and they're going to take less commission, and he had a lot of promises. We had somewhat of a falling out, but
Gotcha.
sort of once I tasted the blood of not having to give half my paycheck away,
Yep.
it was like it's kind of hard to go back. So it kind of just worked out well that my dad was wanting to sort of get back into it,
Right.
and yeah, I don't really miss giving up half my commission. So
Yeah.
Yep.
there was a lot of pros and cons, though.
that.
Don't get me wrong. I do miss the marketing and a lot of the amenities that come with a big brokerage that I feel like is definitely worth it if you use that correctly.
Right. I get that. I was just curious, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously I'm a carpenter.
Yeah,
Carpenter and Tucker are like
I've heard great things.
the two big ones, and we compete with Tucker probably more than anybody.
Yeah.
So I was just curious
Yeah.
as to maybe why.
Yeah, I really liked Tucker. I really liked the people.
Yeah.
The training was awesome. Pretty hard to beat, and yeah, so it just kind of worked out. Sort of the flow of things, just kind of
Right. Well, and I'm
phased
sure
out.
that was probably helpful starting with
Oh, yeah.
something big before, because now you can compare and
Yeah,
contrast.
and I
Yeah.
started with a team, and they were able to sort of hold my hand through
Yep.
the beginning process. I'm sure you can attest, just not knowing really anything.
Yeah.
I guess you saw one side of the appraising side, which would be
It helped.
I'm
Helped
sure
a
that
lot.
would. Yeah, so I
But
didn't really
still,
have any.
I mean, when you get, and I know you can attest to this, you get thrown in that first transaction,
Yeah.
whether you're even selling or buying, like,
You're a deer in headlights. Yeah, yeah. So it was very, very nice to have someone right there through the process and sort of learning just as I go. But
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
so now getting to the point where you can do everything on your own is very refreshing.
so I'm curious so when you're trying to pull somebody in, and obviously right now in this market, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to pull, let's just say whether it's a buyer or a lister, you're trying to pull somebody in and say, hey, this is why I advocate you use a real estate agent. Like, what would you say to somebody? Like, what's kind of your spiel? Just out of curiosity.
A lot of my clients are first time home buyers. Just a lot of my friends and that come from my sphere and friends of friends. That's just been a lot of my business is first time home buyers. There's so many of them. A lot of them just don't know how to use a real estate agent. I'm
Right.
really surprised. They're like, wait, so how much do I pay you? And I'm like, no, like you don't pay me at all. Like at first I laugh, and then I'm like, wow, I'm surprised a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
You don't pay real estate agents when you're buying. So just talking to them, like you want to have someone walk through you with this, and I've dealt with a lot with first time home buyers, so that's sort of I talk about that, how I'm very experienced and
Yep.
with, down payment assistance programs. If they're not, ready to have a huge down payment, those are fine. But just walking through, the baby steps of real estate, because a lot of people don't know them.
So since I have you on here, and I haven't really talked much about real estate since we've started this, why don't you go ahead and explain the buyer process? Like just talk about, how we do get paid when you're a buyer, especially for people who are listening, who are maybe first-time buyers who are thinking about it and don't understand how that process works. Maybe just explain how we make our money from that.
Yeah. So a listing, so someone will list a home, and usually there's hopefully a good co-op. Usually it's around 3%.
We hope.
Yeah.
When they start to get to that 2.5 to 2, you're
I roll my eyes. I really don't want to show that house. Anyway, so I'll have a buyer looking in an area, and houses will come on the market, and they'll send them to me. I'll send them to them. So we'll set up a showing. They're like, hey Jackson, I really like this. Okay, all right. So let's think about putting an offer on. I'll go home, look at some comparables to make sure that the price is justified. If so, hopefully we can agree on price, go into contract immediately. I order the inspection, go through an inspection process. So that's usually about 10 days, give or take, if my inspector's ready to go.
Right.
And so from there, got to think. Once you get past the inspection, it's the appraisal. That's sort of the big thing, the leap over, especially in this market.
Yep.
And once you get past the appraisal, it's you're pretty much home free. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get, on the buying side with a buyer, like we get paid when we get to closing, but we get paid from the seller.
Right. Yeah.
So
the seller's paying us.
That's the beautiful thing about it is like everybody's worried about coming and using a buyer's agent. And it's like, look, we're technically working for you for free.
Oh yeah.
We're doing all this stuff up front, making sure that you're covered and represented correctly.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay us a dime.
Nope.
Just buy your house, which is beautiful.
So the bad thing that is if you're working with someone for months and months and then they don't buy, or that's why a lot of people don't like working with buyers. So a lot of it, I've noticed that older generation, they really don't like buyers.
Yep.
So that's my bread and butter. But I mean, sometimes there's a saying that I haven't found this to be true, but buyers are liars. That's what a lot of people say.
Yep, I hear that too. Yep. And I don't know how you feel about this, but I just choose you're gonna win some and you're gonna lose some.
Yeah.
It's a sales game. Mm-hmm. We get paid purely off a commission. There is no hourly, there's no salary.
Yep.
So we're taking that risk up front and, spending our dollars up front to hopefully be able to get to a closing at the end of the time. Like, I just, it's worth it to have somebody help you out.
Definitely.
And I know people get cold feet about that stuff, but I mean, it's worth it in the end.
Yeah, I haven't been burned too many times. I mean, you'll have it happen.
Happens.
Yeah. Just things of life comes up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And I don't know if you guys ever do buyer exclusive agency. We have the opportunity to, where we essentially have buyers sign a contract that say we get paid no matter what. But like, my team does not use it because we just hate to like make somebody feel like they're backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I want a relationship with my buyer that's based off of trust and integrity.
Yeah, I've never utilized that either.
What's
so,
the point, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, hey, I mean, all the people I've worked with have been cool.
Yeah.
I almost had one get away from me, which was kind of scary, but it ended up working out in the end, Sometimes
always
the
does.
logistics of it just don't work out, and you're like, you've learned your lesson,
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Hey, can we just like come together and make this happen?
Yep.
And it worked in the end.
Great. It usually does. I always tell my clients it's going to work out.
Right.
Usually for the best.
You're like, be patient.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah.
So maybe like, do you have like a horror story? Like maybe one of your worst like encounters? Something maybe that
I was thinking
you can
about
share?
this. I thought I might be asked this. There's one of the worst showings I ever had. I want you to imagine, close your eyes and imagine walking into a house and just imagine like just a living room, but imagine the smell of 1,000 cats that have lived in this room and I'm not exaggerating. I am not. Like every breath was just filled with the dander and the smell of cat pee and cat poop. It was the worst thing. I couldn't stay in the house.
That's Brad's death right there.
No, it was
Yeah,
the worst.
right?
Literally.
He's done.
That was probably the worst house I've ever been in. There was one I went into where there was a pet duck walking around. That was hilarious, but it was a pretty dilapidated home. Like it was just pooping everywhere, but it was hilarious. I was like, a duck?
Yeah.
Right? Like, man.
But horror story, I've had someone back out 3 days prior to closing. Like nothing's happened. They just got cold feet and just like, hey, we don't want the house.
Nothing fun about that because you're
No.
like,
that was the only time I've ever had that happen.
you're like, I'm
And-
72 hours from a paycheck, and it's like, nope.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to throw up, mostly because I felt bad I knew the sellers, like personally. They didn't use me, but like they had a relationship with an agent, but I had to make that call. That was like the worst call I've ever had to make.
Hey, my buyers
It's
are
like,
backing
hey,
out, and they're gonna blame you.
Yeah, she was in Brown County for her daughter's wedding the next day. The
Oh,
agent,
no.
she was so nice about it though. She's an older agent. She was like, hey, it happens.
cool.
You've been amazing to work with. It just happens. But I haven't talked to those buyers in a little bit.
Right? You're like, yeah, they're gonna go on like the
Man,
on my
I
sheet
was
of people
crazy.
to maybe avoid.
I would love to work with them, but it was, I mean, you just can't do that. Like you affect so many people's lives when you
Yep.
do that.
Yep.
They had paid for an appraisal. They had paid for every inspection item that we asked for.
Gosh.
The appraisal repairs. They'd done everything we'd asked for, and then 3 days prior.
And,
See ya.
and usually by that point, like you're talking about, there's normally $2,000-$3,000 wrapped up in the transaction.
Yeah. Then when
already.
they told me that, I said, "You're going to need to talk to a lawyer." Like,
Yep,
Like,
yep.
There's going to be. They could be. If these people aren't nice, there could be serious repercussions. So they ended up paying for all of the repairs and forfeiting their earnest money. I was like, "You got to do that."
Yep. That's so you bring up a good point.
Oof.
For all those people out there, the buyers, if you do back out at that point, we will tell you. And
Yeah.
Jackson just said it. We will both tell you, hey, you need to consult a lawyer because that seller can sue you like crazy.
This is a legally binding document, and it's. I mean, I don't know if it's the generational thing, but they just feel like, oh, if I just throw money at the problem, I can get out.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah.
it's not fun.
No, and those happen more than not. Like, there's a lot of lawsuits. Like they've talked about it. People will hold up. Some of the people who've been in the business for a long time that I've talked to in my company, they'll hold up a purchase agreement and be like, "There's probably one of these getting talked about in court in Indiana probably every day,
Yeah.
because of whatever." But then I'm sure you can talk to the opposite side of it. Right now, the market's so crazy and houses are selling so fast. You might have a house that's in the $150,000 range, and it goes 15 offers, sells in 24 hours, and then people they get cold feet and they get scared because they had to buy something so quickly.
And settle. A lot of people trying not to settle, but in this market, sometimes you have to.
Yeah, there's no inventory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is scary. I mean, this is the biggest decision and the biggest purchase you'll ever make in your
Right.
entire life.
Right.
We're talking 6 digits at least.
Yep.
So I mean, that's crazy.
Yikes.
I mean, it's not just like, I mean, not even that cars aren't expensive, but this is to a whole other level.
Yep.
And you're talking about locking yourself into
15, 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lock it down.
locking it down.
Oh gosh.
So just
That's
so
great.
just bad stuff. I get that. Just so a fall through, and then just like cats and dogs can ruin houses.
Yeah. Appraisal. I've only had one bad appraisal. I haven't had that many fall through, which is awesome, but I've had a bad appraisal at the last second. Ended up appraising the next buyer, so it's just frustrating.
That kills
I
me.
know. It was a perfect house. Ended up working out. Always does, but
Yep.
very frustrating.
So
But you like it, right? You love
Yeah,
it.
I do. It's a part of it. Makes it fun.
What were you gonna say, Liv? Sorry.
No, you're fine. So this was I guess, probably like 2.5 years ago. So Brandon and Michelle, Brad's
Yep.
brother and sister-in-law, were looking for a house with Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in time, Brad was living with them, and we were talking about, like, for the first few months after we got married, that we were going to live with Brandon and Michelle.
Right.
So when we were looking at houses, like, all 4 of us were with you for, like, quite a few
That was
houses.
so fun.
So weird. That obviously didn't end up happening, but
Right.
that was such an interesting time. There were a lot of houses that I wasn't able to go see that Brad told me about later. I was like, whoa.
I showed them a lot of homes.
Yeah.
It's just it happens. It's just in this market. You have to.
Yeah.
Even
And then they
Anything
ended
that
up
comes on.
building.
Ended up building.
So
Yeah.
even better though, they ended up building. Did they
Yeah.
put you on that one?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
the
got
way to do
a
it.
text. Hey, we're in the builder's office right now. My head popped off the pillow. I was like, do not touch anything. I'll be right there.
Yeah. You're like, don't sign anything, don't do anything.
Yeah.
For all of you, this is one of the biggest
Yeah.
things for everybody out there that's thinking about buying or building. There is a commission that is built in for real estate agents on every builder's contract. If you don't have somebody come in, and we can still help you on that process. If you
Yep.
don't have somebody come in, they're pocketing that.
Yeah.
Oh. So that's a big deal.
Good times, man.
And it's fun. It's fun for us too, because if you know the people, you get to come in. We're gonna help you pick everything out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about like maybe that's a good option, maybe it's not. Like that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Their house is really cute.
I haven't been
On
there
the
yet.
inside.
I know.
Have you been to it?
Have you? You've
Yeah.
been? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
nice.
been. It's just on
been
the
a lot
opposite
of
side
nice
of
there.
town. So.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
It is for me too.
And I haven't been invited, Brandon. I probably have, but it just hasn't worked
Shade.
out.
I was gonna say
No, it's okay.
throw some shade.
They're like, they like to be like by themselves a lot of times. So they're just like, hey, you guys want to hang out? They're like, actually, we're kind of already in pajamas watching a movie. So
That house was
just
awesome, though.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And they ended up getting like a place like in the back lot. So it's like
It was perfect.
trees.
Yeah,
like,
backs
all
up
the
to there's
trees.
like a nice empty lot.
Yeah.
Next to them. So
That's the way
Yeah,
to do it.
really
Yeah.
cool.
If you're gonna build a neighborhood, do it that way.
Yeah. So
Liv, I know since you're not in the business, I just wondered if you had any questions that Jackson could maybe expand upon, just because maybe we could.
I feel
on the
like you
spot.
guys really kind of, I don't know, went
touched on
through
everything.
everything. Yeah.
Touched on the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think though.
Who are you gonna use when you buy?
rock, paper, scissors.
I know, right? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that.
Well, we'll see.
We'll
About
cross that bridge when we get there.
We'll cross that bridge. later.
We can work together. How about that?
Oh, cute.
Yeah, we
guys. So fun.
Co-op
Oh.
that one.
Mine as well.
Have you ever seen I Love You Man?
I haven't.
Okay, so it's Paul Rudd. You know Paul
Yeah.
Rudd? Okay.
He's so
Ant-Man.
great.
So it's a Paul Rudd and Jason Segel movie, and Paul Rudd is actually a agent in the movie,
Okay.
and he's like he has no friends, and he's getting married, and he needs to fill his wedding party, and so he's trying to find a friend, but throughout they sprinkle a little bit of like he's trying to sell Lou Ferrigno's house,
Okay.
and so the whole time he's like talking. There's this other dude in the office that's kind of a douchebag, and his name's Tevin, and he's got like.
Friggin'
Frosted tips, and he's just like,
It's like
he's
a
always
90s
like,
movie.
he's like, hey man, you want me to help you on the Ferrigno deal? He's like, we could split the commish 50-50. That's what it made me think of. Like, every time it's like somebody's like, come on, we'll split the commish, man.
Commish.
Everybody has a Tevin in their office though. You might not because
Yeah, my dad's Tevin. No,
Oh, your dad is.
I'm kidding.
nice.
No, he's the best.
That's so great.
well, let's talk about your vintage 317 because
Yeah.
I don't know that much about it, but I totally get the side hustle.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a little bit more behind the story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can
maybe-
talk about it.
maybe
Yeah,
tell
so
us how it got
my
started.
my older brother Drew, he started it. Man, that was a while ago, maybe like 5 years ago. So just loved. He just had a passion for just thrifting and sports memorabilia, and just realized, hey, there's some decent amount of money in this. And
Like sports, everything.
yeah, Pacers. I don't know what else. Colts, everything. Any sports team throughout any other city. So started thrifting and started running sort of it out of his garage. And when he passed like 2 years ago, my family just saw an opportunity to pick that up. And I don't do it as much as I probably would like to, but yeah, my younger siblings use it as like a nice little side hustle. Go to Goodwill, pick up some memorabilia, and sell it in a weekend. Make a couple $100. It's just like awesome opportunity to have like you said, a side hustle. So yeah, really cool though.
So you have 4 younger siblings, right? Okay.
Yep.
So where all do they find all of these gems? Like every time they post, I'm like, what the heck?
My dad
These
is
are so cool.
huge into it now too. He
Okay.
loves going. He loves thrifting. I'd say he probably gets most of the stuff, but Goodwill, Salvation Armies. There's mom and pop thrift stores throughout the city. So yeah, there's,
Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if
Garage sales are big.
Yes. Have you? I don't know if you've seen looked through some of
I
those
haven't.
things.
You said it's on Instagram though,
Yep,
right?
yep. Vintage
Yeah.
317.
So my sister Lauren, that is her vibe.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I
True.
she likes shopping different stores, and I keep sending her stuff from Vintage 317. She's like, oh my
Love that.
gosh, my paycheck is going all towards clothes, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. So my brother started a nice following. I think what do we have? No, it's close to 12,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 11.4.
11.4, yeah. It's ebbed and flowed some, but I mean, because we post a lot, some people don't like that. But yeah, we get messages every day looking for stuff and
That's
seeing if
super
we
cool.
have things.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see. So you go beyond just the sports and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
though.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
got lots of stuff on here.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
that's super
Anything vintage that we think can sell.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big sports guy, so
Yeah. So I mean, So you see that Butterfinger thing. My dad,
Yeah.
he'll hustle any way he can. So they changed
Love it.
the ingredients, the recipe, and he's like, Butterfingers is his thing. So that he was obviously very mad about that. So he found he found a store that still sold the original, and so he bought every single bag he could, and he sells
great.
them, and he sold a lot of them. People are not happy about the new change.
I recently saw that they had changed it.
Yeah.
But when he initially posted it, I was like,
What the?
I'm so confused.
No, my dad will find any way to flip a buck.
Yeah, no,
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
It's awesome.
Entrepreneur.
That's super cool.
Love it.
We're definitely
Yeah.
gonna have to tag this.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Love to.
for listeners, we'll tag them so you guys can see the shop because there's some really cool,
Yeah, you got some
gems in
cool
there.
stuff on.
Yeah,
it.
I think we'd like to have a pop-up shop eventually. We have a lot of stuff we need to
Yeah, that'd be
sell.
so fun.
Yeah.
You should.
Oh yeah, I'm digging this Budweiser.
Was so
jean jacket.
Oh yeah.
was really
Size
great
small too.
because I guess that's been like 2 years ago that you guys did like that kind of pop-up
Yeah,
shop
yeah.
in Greenwood. And Brad and I both went separate times and came back, and we like bought so much stuff. We were like,
That was
this is
awesome.
ridiculous." I have
That's
like
super cool.
I'll have to post on our Instagram some of the sweatshirts I have because they are
Yeah,
They
I
are
have so my
dope.
brother had his own collection, and when he passed, I sort of had that at my house. He has some absolute fire stuff.
Yes.
Like, it's like I'm like, how the heck did you find this? It's so there's some
There's
such
some
cool
really
pieces.
good ones.
Yeah,
That's
There's
awesome.
a sweatshirt that I bought that is a Notre Dame one, which I'm just like, I'm neutral on Notre Dame, but the sweatshirt was just
Yeah.
like so fly. I was like, I need this, and it is literally the comfiest sweatshirt I own. And Brad's like, you don't even like Notre Dame's not even like something you watch, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
like,
care.
I just like how
It's
comfy
cool.
this
there's
sweatshirt.
so many cool pieces, no matter what sports team it is.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Any questions you have on vintage?
No, I was just looking at the page. It
Yeah.
looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look through it for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so all my siblings have access to it, so we'll throw stuff on there just
Okay.
as we come across stuff, and
Cool.
yeah.
Well, I guess maybe the question I have, the first thing that pops in my head, mind always tends to be business oriented. Have you guys ever thought about doing a website or anything, or do you just do it on Instagram?
Yeah,
Also, Cole has built websites.
Yeah.
For us.
I think we'd definitely be interested in that. My dad is, like I said, he's sort of spearheading it. So
Yeah.
Instagram's been our sort of bread and butter.
Right.
So
That's super
Yeah.
cool though that
Yeah.
you've taken advantage of that. And I know that the Instagram is supposed to be rolling out more and more ways to actually be able to purchase goods through
Yep.
Instagram itself.
yep,
Yeah, like by like 2 taps, you're like boop
Yeah.
boop, and I just bought that.
Yeah, which is scary.
that is
But
so
it's very
dangerous.
cool.
Yeah. So do you guys use PayPal or Venmo?
Venmo,
or...
Cash App,
Okay.
yeah, and pretty much anything.
Cool.
Any
Yeah.
way you can get money in your
Oh
hand.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The more avenues you have, the
Yeah.
way easier it is for
Yeah.
someone to buy something.
Yep.
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 And so we ship all over the country, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's
we
really
have
cool.
followers from all over the world. My dad shipped to Australia, Alaska, pretty much everywhere. So.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
There were some really cool posts after your brother had passed from people all over
Yeah.
that were like posting pictures of like them wearing stuff from his shop, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that gave me chills.
Yeah,
so
cool. So cool.
Well, obviously, I kind of know all the background on
Yeah.
that and everything. Brad actually called me that night. So I carrying it on. I think it's so
It's-
cool that you guys are doing
Yeah,
that.
it was
It's
a really
awesome.
cool way to just sort of carry on a legacy that was there, and then it's on a cool way to make money too. So sort of a win-win, and
Yeah,
having
absolutely.
that just to carry on is really cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Very
so,
cool.
we have a little bit of like personal-ish, not really.
Ask away.
So you
We're gonna get real
you recently were married in September, right?
Congratulations. by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Okay. Yes,
When were you?
congrats. June.
Okay.
Yep. So we just had our 1 year
So you're the veteran,
weeks
veteran
ago.
compared to me.
by like a few months. So I'm just curious because how was wedding planning? Did you do like a lot of it, or was it mostly
A lot of Tori. So
Tori?
she's the organizer, the planner. Yeah, she
So-
she can get stressed occasionally, but it was actually pretty easy. And
Yeah.
I was there to help when needed, and it was. She did a lot of it.
It
all
was
herself.
beautiful. I was like looking through all the pictures like when it was posted, and like the videos, and I'm like, babe, Look at this. You're not, babe.
I know.
But I was
I know who
pretending,
you're
I was
talking
pretending
about.
you were Brad.
Yeah, no, the wedding planning,
So
it was a lot
fun.
less stressful than I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, probably from her side, it was a lot more, but
What size was your wedding?
it wasn't huge, but it wasn't small. We had like 250.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
Was that pretty comparable over the years? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had an awesome venue. We actually had a venue picked out, ready to go, and then we realized that they weren't going to be able to hold everyone. They sort of changed positions on us, so we had to
Gotcha.
kind of scramble and find another one. It was pretty early on in the process, so that was a weekend of crying for Tori, but it ended up being perfect. So
Bummer.
yeah,
Where was your venue? Because I had not recognized
it was brand new. It's in Greenfield.
Okay.
Overlook at Briny Creek.
Okay.
Very easy to work with. Awesome. It was a little warm. That was the only thing. Like
Yeah.
the day was September 2nd. Yeah, it was pretty warm, and it was
Yeah.
raining the day before. So we were just glad it wasn't raining, honestly.
That is literally
Didn't they have
our
one?
day.
Yeah.
Poured like on our rehearsal day,
was
and
nuts.
then was like so freaking hot day of, and I like had this huge dress, and
Yeah.
I was like,
We were all
I'm
sweating.
dying because the ceremony was outside.
Okay.
All of our pictures
Yeah.
were outside. Oh
Yep.
my gosh, it was so hot. So
I can relate.
I get that, but like I felt bad for all the guys wearing long sleeves.
And you did that to us.
I did. What do you want to wear, polos?
No, I know. It worked out.
Bro tanks.
I've been like going back in my photos and posting like older photos on my Instagram.
It's really cute.
I've been having fun with that. And I like passed the wedding and I saw the picture of Brad and I. And obviously he makes me look like a midget.
Yeah.
Like I was like, but
like you're his son.
yeah, pretty much. But
Look
I had
at our
to,
little
but I-
ring bearer.
but I had to laugh. I was like, that was a good day. I was just like,
It was so fun.
Where was yours?
Huh?
Where was your wedding?
In Crawfordsville. It was a little barn, like literally in the middle of nowhere.
super cool.
But yeah, same. They
Yeah.
were so great to work with. Super chill. Were so helpful, and it was just like it was so.
It makes a
great.
world of difference when they're chill.
Yeah.
When there's venues that are just uptight and
Yeah.
want to be involved in every little thing. It's so
Yeah,
annoying.
they were like, we'll just like set up what you need, and then we'll like leave, and you guys can do whatever,
Exactly,
and then
yeah.
like we'll come back later, and you guys can just like leave stuff, and we'll clean it up. And I
Was yours
like,
a Saturday wedding?
deal? It was Friday.
Friday wedding. Cool.
So I gotta ask. So you're coming up on a year now,
Yeah.
right? So you got 2-3 months before
Yes.
you hit a year. How long were you guys together before you got married?
We were together 3 years.
Okay.
So
So
Where did you guys meet? I don't think I know that.
this was one of my never questions. We met in high school.
okay.
Okay.
So you better remember this.
Yeah. So we had a couple classes. She's a year older than me. Had a couple classes together. We're just acquaintances. We're like school friends. We didn't hang out outside.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we sort of once I went to Australia for 6 months. And we sort of reconnected when I was over there. Came
Okay.
home and took around some dates, and the rest is history.
So what's your
Guys are cute.
what's your favorite thing about being married? And what's like one of the things that's been kind of difficult, like trying to get used to, or just maybe
Yeah.
one of you don't have to get too personal.
No, yeah, no, yeah. I love being married. It's been pretty easy so far. They usually say the first year is the hardest, but I've had an awesome experience. So
Listen,
Well then.
I'll tell you this.
yeah, the vet. Tell me the
Oh
veteran.
gosh, no.
Yeah, best thing.
I just know that Brad is very similar to me in personality, and so there are certain things like I know that she's dealing with.
yeah.
And I'm not saying like Brad is a great guy.
He's amazing.
But marriage is marriage.
Yeah.
There are
We're like
things-
so opposites on
That's
a
not even
lot
funny.
of things. It's like
It's gonna happen. It's gonna butt heads.
Yep.
Yeah, best thing. Minus the obvious thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like,
oh, I was like, what?
I know. Like, what are you trying to? Gotcha.
Yes.
Yep.
Man,
Blessings?
I don't know. I just love. I mean, Tori's my best friend, so just going through life with her is so fun. I don't know. The
Man,
best.
you're laying it on thick. She's gonna listen to this, isn't
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get those brownie points.
she? Smart man.
yeah.
Worst thing, I don't know. Just learn. You just learn to different things about it, that you didn't know, and just kind of deal with that. It's nothing bad, but it's just kind of
Yeah.
learning to live with someone.
Yeah. When they throw you together and you're like, okay, now we have to figure out how
Yeah.
to coexist in the same
Yeah.
space.
It was really weird. So obviously Brad and I didn't live together prior to getting married. And it was like we had our wedding and then we came back to the apartment because I had moved in there previously. And then we left the country for a week and then came back, and it was just like after your wedding, like everyone just goes back to their normal life, and so it's like, okay, now you have to go like figure out this new normal of like living together.
That's just us.
And so it's just like it's funny. I don't know, because you just like kind of expect that everyone's kind of like, oh, like you're newlyweds and like want to help. No,
You sort of just get thrown in there.
yeah,
You're like,
pretty
okay,
much. Yeah,
Peace.
thanks for inviting us. Peace out.
yeah, yeah.
Enjoy it.
But yeah, marriage has been so fun.
Yeah, that's so cool. So your wife is starting nursing school,
Yeah.
which is cool, since if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that Brad's in nursing school as well.
Yep.
It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Crazy people.
Yeah.
Crazy
It is. It
people.
takes a special person. So
It does. It definitely
It does. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
It takes a special person to deal with it too.
yeah.
There's a lot of time that needs to be sunk into that.
Yeah, definitely. So she's
Yeah.
going to the accelerated program. So it'll be starts in August, and then 16 months later, she's a nurse. So
Wow, that's awesome.
Crazy.
yeah.
Easy.
Right, well, I mean, it's going to be. She's not going to have a life for 16 months. and,
yeah, get used to
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
right.
after that, she's the nurse. So
Yeah. No, and that's the cool thing too, which at first it's kind of like weird because you want to invite, like you want to go like do things, because
Right.
I'm like, I just work through the week. Let's go hang out. Whoa. Let's go hang, like flailing my arms around. Let's go hang out. Let's like go do something. He's like,
Yeah.
I got to study. Like I've got exams. I'm like, ugh, which I like want to be annoyed, but I'm also like, it's good.
So are you the extrovert of the relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. So is he introverted more naturally?
Yes.
Okay.
And unless it's like around.
It's a tad because
Like his crew?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think definitely in like social, but I get it. You're definitely way more out there, which
Yeah.
I get.
Yeah, no, not that he. Yeah, I mean, I think if we had to, like, I'm definitely more extrovert, and he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tori is way more content staying in,
Yeah.
Working on the house and watching movies, and where I want to be with people. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I get my energy. So
Yeah.
I get
so
that.
so school for her, she's good at school. She's good at just putting her head down, being focused, and
Yeah.
being responsible. Where that is.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
No.
Yeah,
What are we
I
doing?
know. I know. My
Three
gosh.
tests. Let's go. Get a
Yeah,
beer.
no, it's
Yeah, right.
great. Yeah, I know. I'm like, can you just like take like a break? And he's like, I don't think you understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
well,
like,
I've never met anybody so focused, and like, Brad can definitely be like, I have to do this, and he'll do it, and he'll do it at like at 120%.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's-
and he'll put his blinders on, and
yeah,
that's it.
literally.
I
That is
can't do
impossible
that.
for me. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Nope.
I know. I'm like mad respect. My dude.
Seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
So he'll probably be like totally mad of me saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So
Veteran.
he he just does really well in school. Like he just puts in
Right.
a lot of work. He does not like to gloat about it at all. Like he will not tell anyone his grades, but he always does like really well, right?
Why would
Yeah.
you be mad at you saying this?
No,
Oh, you're getting to that?
Yeah,
Oh,
She's getting to
well,
it.
probably that part of it, because I'm always just like,
Yeah.
look how freaking amazing my husband,
Right.
and he's just like,
Yeah.
this is weird. Like, stop. But like the other day, we were sitting on the couch and he was opening mail and got one from school, and just like casually just like puts the piece of paper like on the coffee table. And he's like, oh, I made the dean's list again. And I was like,
Right, he's like,
well, yeah, like he's just, because he just doesn't want to like
freaking Dean's List.
bring like
No
attention
big
to
deal.
it. But I was like, what? And I like picture
Yeah,
like
that's a
just
big
like
deal.
going like freaking out, which like he has like every semester, but he just is so like chill about it. And I'm
Yeah, I
like,
know.
no, like
Let's celebrate this.
I know. I was like, let's open some champagne. He's like, no, I can. It's fine.
Liv, you just want an excuse to
I
open
know.
champagne.
Let's be real. Any excuse to open champagne. So what direction, like in nursing, or what unit, I guess, does she want to be on?
I think before she knows anything about it, she was always loved babies and
Yes.
what do they call that? I'm so bad at that.
Like,
What-
like OB?
is it?
Yeah, OB. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like just without knowing anything about nursing, without doing clinicals and all
Yeah.
that, that's like I think where she would see herself. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that might change when she gets into it. So,
Yeah. Brad is in OB and peds right now
Yeah.
for the summer, and he kind of was like, this is not the direction that he
Right.
wants to go
Yeah, I was
at
gonna
all.
say, I didn't think that's what he wanted to do.
No, but you got to do it. So,
Yeah.
his first clinical, he was with like in the nursery with all of these babies, and I was like, oh my god.
Right, and he's just like, get me out of here, and you're
No,
like,
he was actually like had a decent time, and I was like, so
Hey,
yeah, have a baby.
Hey, by the way, if you like babies,
Yeah, I know.
I
but-
can make one of those.
Yeah,
We can make
one.
You
of
know what I
those.
mean.
Am I right? Let's go.
Girls do most of the work. Okay, let's just be honest here.
Oh my gosh.
We got the good part of the deal.
Oh my god. Okay, moving on. So you touched on living in Australia.
yeah.
What was that for? What was it about? You said you were there like what, 6 months?
Yep. So right out of high
us that.
school, I was sort of telling Cole, I didn't really want to go to college. I just never felt that was, in the books for me or in the
Same.
cards right away. So I've heard of YWAM, Youth with a Mission. It's a youth organization, a mission organization. They have bases all over the world. So and then they have specific classes called Discipleship Training School. So I did that in Australia. It just sounded cool. Surfer's Paradise. I literally just Googled, Australia. I'd always wanted to go. So yeah, I went there for 6 months. Usually it's 3 months in that country and then 3 months in like another country, but mine was all in Australia. So 3 months on the coast, doing like biblical training and then sort of training you to go to the mission field. And then the last 3 months were in the outback. So I got to live with Aborigines and, hunt with them and do everything there. So that was amazing.
So cool. I feel like I should have had you do that in an Australian accent, telling us about all of that.
I'm a little rusty, but
So, yeah, that's so cool.
it was the coolest
wanna go,
experience. It was the
for
coolest.
sure.
Yeah, you definitely need to go to Australia.
What I would think the nice thing about Australia would be is like there probably wouldn't be as large as a culture shock as
Definitely
maybe like Europe or something.
Definitely not.
Especially, I mean, they speak the same language.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's very westernized. The
Right.
only thing that's different is in the outback. Just
Right.
that the Aborigines culture is just different. But
Yeah.
the more inland you go, it definitely gets thicker as well. But
Did it feel weird, like coming back home? Like you're like, oh, I got to go back to my normal life.
yeah, it definitely is. And the weird thing, I got in a car and I'm not lying. I started driving on the left side of the road because they just drive the.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I pulled out and my brother's like, "What the heck are you doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like it was just like ingrained in my brain.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
That's funny.
diving back into normal life was different, but a lot
That's
of
so
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
And then, so I know that I ran into you at the store a couple, weeks ago, and you said you guys were going on a trip. Where all did you guys go?
Yeah, I went to Europe. That was amazing. So we've got like amazing ticket prices from into Copenhagen. Like paid like less than $400 round trip, which was
Wow.
it's hard to find. So we just
No
based our
joke.
trip around there. So went to Copenhagen, then we went to Prague, Czech Republic, and then from there we went to Austria, and then Munich, Germany,
Friggin'
and then back to
crazy.
Copenhagen. So we were there for like 12 days. It was
That's
a lot
so
of fun.
fun.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So once Europe's, I mean, I wouldn't want to live there, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was really funny because I follow him on Instagram, and he had posted something about your friend Taylor, like losing his passport.
Oh, yes,
And
yeah.
I had showed Brad because he knows Taylor as well, and he was like, oh my gosh, Taylor's just going to like stay there. Like,
So the funny thing was I had accidentally taken his passport and he was looking for it.
it's like an hour update later. It's
I was
like
just
update.
dying
It was
laughing.
actually in my bag.
I picked it up thinking it was mine,
It
but
was so
that was
great.
a hilarious 10
so
minutes.
funny.
At
Yeah.
least that's where it was, right?
Yeah, I know. He's
Yeah.
like, no, I know it's here. I just need to find it. But I was
So
just
funny.
like dying laughing the whole time. Taylor's gonna stay in Copenhagen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really great. So a couple other like random things. So I don't know if you know this, his mom is an amazing artist.
Okay.
Pretty
I didn't know
talented,
that.
yeah.
She's incredible. Like
I got
painting,
zero of
it's-
that. I have
it's
zero artistic ability.
amazing. And I don't know how like the connection was made, but you know the show Good Bones on HGTV? It's like
feel like I've
the
probably
one
seen it.
that's
It's based in
Indy or like Fountain Square.
I probably have it then.
Okay.
It started with Two Chicks and a Hammer. That was the name. And then they changed it to Good Bones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
rings
know
a
what you're
bell.
talking about then.
So they like put her paintings like in
So it's a mother-daughter. They demo homes. And when they have the finished product, my mom comes and brings in her art. And so,
Oh.
yeah, pretty cool. So
Super
it's
cool.
been a
That's
really
cool.
cool way to sort of showcase her art.
yeah.
Right.
The last
So
couple
you were
years.
on an episode.
Yeah, that was
right?
fun. Yeah.
So fun.
So
How
they-
was that?
It was cool. We're sort of desperate to like, they didn't have a buyer. So they're like, who can we bring and show the house to, you know? So
Yep.
they're like, okay, my mom's like, oh, well, my son's a realtor, and kind of gave me a plug there. And so, yeah, I got to go in and just, I mean, I didn't have a buyer, but I was acting like I did. And
yeah.
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 it was fun.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Did you get anything from that? Like, was anyone like, hey?
I had a
who's
lot
that
of people
guy?
say, I saw you on TV. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But I can't think of. I might have like they might have been like, oh yeah, Jackson's a realtor, and so I might have had a buyer come from
Gotcha.
that, but I not that I know directly.
Yeah.
I think those things are hard unless it's consistent. I think consistency. I mean, we talked about this the other day. You know what I mean? Like it's hard, like one of those fleeting moments.
Oh.
It comes and it goes.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
Yeah.
And like I don't know about you, but I don't really watch HGTV when I'm at home.
Yeah, I don't either.
I talk house all day and most of the nights.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, do I really want to watch Property Brothers? Nah.
Yeah, it's too cheesy for me.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Once you know the behind the scenes, it's like,
and you watch it, and you're like,
this is not how it goes.
Not even close. It's so cringy.
It can't
But
be, yeah.
I watch it. Brad and I actually watch Property Brothers a lot.
like,
Only because we do like to see like the renovation side
Yeah.
of it, but like all of the things I would rather put them on mute, to be perfectly honest.
just to watch the house.
Because every time like you can map out like how it's gonna go.
Yep.
And then it's like they get a call like, oh my gosh, something just really like came up in the house.
Gotta be
it's
drama.
terrible.
yeah, they're like, oh man,
and it's
it could
gonna like
cost us so much
it's
money.
gonna blow like 10,000 of your budget.
And then
Yeah.
like commercial, and it comes back, and they're like, well, we remedied the problem. It wasn't near as bad. We only spent $500 instead of $50,000. And you're like, oh, big surprise.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know how familiar you are with Southern Indiana, but do you know Sweetwater and Cordray Lake?
I've been to Sweetwater. I'm not very familiar with it though.
Okay, so Sweetwater Lake has been on like Find My Next or something like that. It's been on there twice now. There's actually a real estate company that's called Sweetwater Realty, and a lot of those people are kind of they probably own that market to a certain degree.
Sure.
So two of their agents, I think, I don't know, but I know the first one was for sure. I don't know about the second one, but they just did another episode of that, and that was kind of funny to watch. Like,
Because like that's your
it's my backyard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I grew up on Sweetwater,
Yeah.
and then I lived on the north side for a little while, and then I moved back to Cordray, and then now I live in Princess Lakes.
Like I've been there. Like
And I was like, this is so weird to like, they're doing like aerial shots and
Yeah.
everything, and I'm like, that's my lake.
yeah.
And it was so weird to see.
yeah, that's
so
awesome.
funny.
But now, like, that guy has like a sign out in front of the office, and he's like, the first one on HGTV. You know?
I
Yeah.
should maybe do that. I see it on HGTV.
Hey,
no,
there you
I feel
go.
like that's cheesy, but
Yeah, see, I agree.
It's
You're like,
cheese.
that's kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a fine line because there's
Yeah.
a lot of I think there's a real estate agent in Columbus, and he's like, he says like he's the cowboy of real estate, always wears a hat, like a cowboy hat.
Oh.
And like my grandma
Why
told me
isn't
about
that
it.
whatever
you?
works.
I'm
Whatever works.
I'm trying to put
Okay,
on a
wait,
classy,
you know
like,
what? You know what? You can say you're the
bougie real estate.
the real estate nugs.
What?
The man Ugg realtor.
Yeah. What do you mean? What?
I
You
don't
wear
get it.
Uggs.
Oh, Uggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wear a lot of those.
Talk about bougie. He wears Uggs. Okay.
No shame. No shame.
No shame at all.
Shame.
They're comfortable. And
Shame.
no.
They're not like the traditional Ugg boots.
Right.
so-
Right.
I'm
Like
ready
the
to go
slipper
back
bag.
to Chicago and get some more. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at them the other day. I was wearing them in class, and I was like, I need another pair of Uggs.
So ridiculous.
Are those
Okay.
Those your driving moccasins?
They're like, I don't know how would you describe those? They're like
They're kind of like a booty. I hate saying
say
I hate
Like
Yeah.
slippers almost? Or
dude
no?
booties. Why are
I have
you bringing
slippers.
this up?
Okay.
I have 3 pairs. I have slippers, and they're like a waterproof suede, kind of like
Okay.
halfway up.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
dope.
little bit higher top. Like it's a good looking shoe, and it's got like a white bottom to it, so it kind of like a tennis shoe type of like.
Yeah.
And they're waterproof, so it's nice. And then I have like
Ugg should
Boots.
sponsor
Yeah.
you.
they have like the fur and everything on the side. Those are great. Just saying, we're showing
Yeah,
houses like
comfy.
waterproof.
Yeah.
Keeps your feet warm.
Yeah.
Like all winter, I was good.
The whole club was.
I need some.
And they're
was looking at
waterproof.
you.
You're selling me.
I'm telling you, it's worth it. It was worth every penny. She talked me into it. Audrey did. I was like, should I get them and should I not? It's like, because I was worried. Believe me, I'm like, can I pull this off?
Yeah.
Like, is
Pull
this
up
gonna
anything
be
you
like,
want to.
Is this going to be like,
Some motivation for the
social suicide, or am I going to be okay? And she's like, you got to get them. And I love them.
day. You
I
sold
make
me.
fun of you for it.
You
Just
sold me.
it's fun.
Let's see. Okay. So we're running high on time.
Yep. No,
So if it's okay, we're going to play a game with you.
Cool.
I hope you're ready.
Yeah. We touched on a couple of my questions, so we'll see.
Okay.
So you
We
have to
spoiled
give
some of your
us
questions.
one true statement or story and one false.
'Kay.
And we
Yep.
have to decide which one of those is
And if it helps, we've had some people say like "never have I ever."
Okay.
It could be 2 stories.
Okay.
They could just be.
I'll probably give
facts.
like 2 like sentences, just like.
Okay,
That's fine too.
Okay.
we're ready.
And
2 I haves.
we'll probably do 2 rounds if
Cool.
you think we can do that.
Cool. All right. First lie/truth. I have killed.
Yikes.
We're murdering.
Killed and cooked a kangaroo with my bare hands.
Okay.
That's the first one. The next one is I have broken my arm 3 times.
Does it sound bad that like it'd be kind of cool if first was true?
He's so dope. You know? Except
I'm
all the
just saying.
all the people listening to
Yeah,
us.
we
are
might
like,
have a
It
problem.
was for
Unfollowed.
food in the scenario. Like I wasn't just for fun.
Do people actually eat kangaroo?
The Aborigines do, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. It's kind of like the.
It's like a way of life out there.
You know what? So, okay. How did you break your arm?
Soccer,
All 3 times.
Soccer, and then in the backyard, and just different sports.
I'm kind of thinking number 2 sounds. I mean, he could be tricking us, but I kind of feel like.
I don't
do you
how do
think?
you, I feel like the arm breaking is the true.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you seem like a nice guy. And you said you killed the kangaroo with your hands. I don't know if I could choke out a kangaroo. You know what I mean? Or
That's
like,
because it's bigger than you.
right, it just put me in its pouch, wouldn't it? It'd be like, I'm gonna take you with me.
Oh, so cute. Can we Photoshop you?
I could definitely do that. You want me to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
I'm saying
So we
number
sh-
2 is true.
Okay.
Both of you saying that?
Yeah.
So number 1's true.
Oh!
Okay, can you give us the story?
I'm not even
Yeah.
mad about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Dang it.
first, I went to the out back to live with and sort of minister the Aborigines, and that's just what they do. They have the ability to go hunt kangaroo. They use guns, but say if you just injure one with a gun, you have to go kill it. They don't want to waste another bullet, and they don't waste anything. Like if they don't eat it, they'll give it to their dogs. But they eat almost everything. So we just were going out there to get food, and so one of them didn't die, so I had to go kill it with a stick, and then we cooked it later
Kill it
that
with
day.
a stick. You had to beat it with a stick?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's just how
You're
it's just the way it's
savage.
just the way of life. It's
No,
not,
I get it.
I mean, people might
I'm
get
not mad
upset,
at you,
but there's so many kangaroo. It's like
Oh, I'm sure.
there's like 70 million
Aren't they
kangaroo.
kind of like mean?
They can be, nuisances.
Yeah.
But so there's like 70 million to like 20 million people. So there's like
Oh, wow.
so many.
Dang.
That's crazy.
I broke my collarbone a couple times, but I've never broken my arm.
Gotcha.
Alright.
Okay.
I did that
Dang,
in soccer
that was a
with
good
Brad.
one. That was a good one.
Thanks.
Killer.
That was a good. That was not funny. That was a good one.
She likes it. Audrey loves puns. That was just for her.
Audrey loves
I guess I
puns.
missed that.
He said it was killer.
I was like,
And then
killer.
I'm gonna try and pull up a picture of a kangaroo.
Oh, what's your second one?
Okay, I gotta think of a lie real quick. Just give me like 2 seconds.
Like, I gotta lie about something.
I know.
Isn't that horrible? We're asking people to lie. Lie to me in the name of entertainment.
Okay.
Are you not entertained?
Okay. So first one is
Oh my
the only
gosh.
instrument I can play decently is the ukulele, and the second is my wife slid into my Instagram DMs to talk to me first.
Oof.
Slid in those DMs.
Wow. I feel like these could both be true.
I know. That's the hard part.
But I also feel like since she's like the introverted one, that maybe she didn't. You know.
Those are picking up on the early. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Okay.
So one's true.
Yeah, I feel like the ukulele.
Okay.
I'm gonna be really excited if it's
I
the
know.
opposite.
Wait, there's
though.
a ukulele here, so we might have to hand it to you.
Okay, I'm rusty, but I'll try.
So
It's
ukulele
true.
is true.
Oh, yep, you got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ukulele is true. But the funny thing is, that last one was tricky because she did slide in my DMs, but it was on Snapchat.
So the lie was Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Dang, that was good.
Tori, okay.
Well played.
Yeah.
Right on.
Sweet. So the last thing we'll have you do is I know we kind of talked about some of the other things, but I'll go ahead and have you give you a second to plug what you're doing, whatever. Either the Instagram or whatever. Kind of throw out the handle or
Where
whatever
people
you would
can,
whatever
how
you
they
would
can
like to promote.
contact you.
Yeah. So
All the
we
above.
talked about Ventures 317. If you want to find that on Instagram, which is vintage317, all one word, and lots of cool memorabilia. And if you see something you like, just send a message to us and ask for the price, and we'd love to work something out. But yeah,
Cool.
Sweet.
I won't plug real estate because I don't want to.
You're like, I don't want to step on your toes. I like this guy. He knows what's up. And I'm not going to come up to Northside.
My turf.
Well, thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming
No,
on
I-
for
this
sure.
is a lot of fun.
So
We appreciate it.
Love the podcast. So easy to listen to. Love
Thank
coffee.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it really is.
Great. You get to sit
Cool.
down and hang out with us and
Yeah.
drink coffee.
I did not. That felt like time flew by.
I know.
So a couple things from Liv and I. First thing, we gave away the tickets. We record on Saturday, so today we're actually going. Super excited. I believe
Going
the
to
person.
Sun King.
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay. So I saw that tag like a week later. I think
you're
you tagged
fine.
me in that. So that's tonight.
That is
Yep,
tonight.
it's tonight.
Yep.
Yep.
Are tickets sold out, or can you get them still?
I
can
believe
get
you can
them.
still get tickets.
Yep. You can
Yeah.
Do you know how much
get
they
them.
are?
20
That sounds fun.
at the
So
door. Yep.
so there's concert and beer.
Yep.
And food trucks.
They always do local bands. It's Mike and the Moon Pies.
Just like the dopest name.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've not heard.
I don't
of
know who
them,
they are, but I
Um,
like the name.
Yeah,
but they don't mess around with music.
live music's great.
Yeah. So and it's all in their parking lot at the College Avenue.
Like
Great.
the downtown.
Yeah, the
one.
downtown.
Yep.
The OG location. So it'll be a good time. So we did that. That's done, and we kind of hit a milestone today.
We did.
Yeah, we hit 1,000.
We're still thinking about what we want to do.
We're gonna do
about
something
it.
special for
It'll
sure.
be- it's gonna be fun.
We're gonna blow it out.
1,000 downloads. That's
Blow
awesome.
it out. It's not even like that. big of a deal.
I know, right? It is for us.
It
Okay.
is. You're right.
is.
You're
gotta
right. You're right.
celebrate.
You're right.
Gotta celebrate the milestones.
Pop the champagne.
There you go. We're popping champagne, I guess.
When in doubt, pop champagne.
I know.
Heck
It's
yeah.
true.
So
think
thank
we
you
should
again,
say
Jackson,
that.
for
Of
coming
course,
on. We
Loved it.
appreciate everybody who's been listening and got us to this milestone.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to 2, 5, 10,000. So
Love it.
hope we
Wow.
get to that point.
Episode 15.
Episode 15.
We out.
We out, people.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.